like, basically we have to wait for a man to get to 40 before they realise this?
No, but everybody's different. People
because I think it is
mature at different ages, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but most guys...
22-year-olds are really mature.
Yeah, but they're not looking to settle down. I do think men have this thing of, like, when they get a little bit older, now is the time for them to settle down. And really, like, at 30, you could have done it. But you think you've got more time.
Yeah, but we've only got one life. And then you're going to get to a point when you're old and cold and washed up and no one ain't going to want you. Like, and you're going to look back at that time that you wasted and you... Explore, live your life, go and get some gal. Well, soon you're not going to be able to get no gal. You get me? You're just pussyfooting around. No. Explore, live your life. You're only young, man.
What are you saying about the wedding ring when you're going to meetings? Because I don't think a lot of guys that you feel like you get more respect.
Well, I think when I'm in meetings, I'm in my businessman era. You know, right. I'm trying to say that. If I'm trying to cut deals, I'm meeting CEOs, CFOs and directors and all these things. I mean, I'm having conversations with big people, you get me? And I just think first impressions and stuff are everything, you know what I'm trying to say? So you want to see someone that's well put together, that's trustworthy. It's the same like with the footballers and stuff like that. They want them to get married early. They don't want it to just be some young playboy. I need you to know that you got your life, you know, that you're someone that I can work with, someone that I can trust. And these are the things that it gives off to you, I'm trying to say. So obviously, like I said, I'm maturing now.
Do you agree with that? Or do you think it's more about the way you carry yourself? You shouldn't have to wear a wedding ring to be considered as someone that is trustworthy?
Nah, I think people are fickle. I think what you show them is what they believe. It doesn't matter what you say.
So do you believe that him wearing a wedding ring will gain him more respect?
From men, yeah. Not more respect, but more trust, yeah.
Oh.
Not more respect, no.
Okay.
Men generally respect the person that can have anything they want, not somebody that chose one thing.
I'm in a different area of my life, you know what I mean? So obviously I'm trying to manifest these things so I can work my way to be the good husband that I'm going to be one day for my girl.
So you are in a relationship?
Yeah.
So have you got kids?
Yeah.
Okay, how many kids you got?
One.
Oh, okay. Nice. How old are your children? Your child?
6.
Okay. I don't know if I want kids.
Kids are amazing.
I don't know if I'm built for that though. I don't know if I'll be a suitable mother.
I mean, but you will. You're a nice person. You're a good person. So.
I don't think that means you're going to be a good mum though.
I mean, it's something that maternal instinct will kick in inside innately in you. Like, I think if you're a stand-up person, you got good morals, you're a sensible person, why would you not be able to raise a child the right way? Why are you all of a sudden going to start doing stupid things or being a different
I think I'm
person?
quite selfish.
Okay.
I think I'm like a selfish person. Not in general, but I think I'm 36 now and I think I've created a life that I'm like a routine that I like. I like my independence. I like not having to think about some other human being where I can't like maneuver. I do think that men also see having children differently than women do. I don't think men
can just go.
Yeah, I don't think men's life changed that much having children.
Some of the most joy I felt in my life is from simple things. My son, watching him walk, watching him ride a bike by himself, watching him write and read and have conversations with me and say things to me that I never taught him and see right. These are just little things that I would never change for the world. It's amazing having a kid. And if you don't have a kid, you won't know that. You know what I'm trying to say? That if you don't have like a little version of yourself, you'll never know. But again, it's not for everybody, but I'll recommend it to anyone.
This guy's recommending kids like it's a book. Like, is that normal?
I don't know. I didn't see any problem.
Okay.
For you when I watched, that was a long time ago, didn't you? Was it when was it?
Would you recommend someone to have a kid?
I wouldn't be like, oh, you should definitely go and have a kid, you know. But I would say my experience as a mum, and I would
so
say
you
like,
recommend it then?
No, I'm not gonna go. I don't think it's something that you should recommend.
Why?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe I don't really understand what he's saying. I don't know. I could only say my personal experiences.
But that's not answering the question. It's basically asking you, do you have a good opinion or a bad opinion, basically, and would you think that it's good for somebody to experience it, or do you think it's bad for somebody to experience it?
Oh yeah, that's
Or
true actually.
experience?
Yeah, because you would recommend a movie, so why wouldn't you recommend motherhood? Then yeah, in that aspect, yeah, I probably would.
Okay.
What about you?
It depends on the person, I think.
Yeah, that as well. Of course, you got to take that into consideration.
I think if you have your life together and you are a bit lonely,
Yeah.
your life like you're not busy, then yeah, I would recommend it. But if you're busy or you are not secure or you haven't got complete freedom and you don't have help, then I would say no. Yeah.
Like you did interview with your mum, it was like a documentary type of
I
vibe.
don't know, I sit down interview with her on Link Up TV.
Yes, and that's when I was like, I like Margs. Like that was really nice. That was really. I think you're really good at showing like vulnerable moments, but in a manly quote unquote way. I don't know if that's even toxic to say, but it's. I just think.
What do you think is the most important thing to be a good parent? Like what trait or characteristic or thing basically in the world do you think is like the most, if you had to just boil it down to one thing?
Willingness to adapt.
That's good.
Yeah, willingness to adapt, and then after that I'd say to be able to like,
no, just one thing. You have to boil it. If you had to boil it down to one,
willingness to adapt. What about you?
I think emotional maturity.
Yeah.
I think you don't need to you don't need to add human beings into the world that are not emotionally mature.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't feel like I'm deep. I'm not out here looking for anybody. Or I'm not involved in that lifestyle. I'm not doing anything. But I'm still Margs from Mashtown, grew up in London Fields. All that stuff don't really go anywhere. And I can bump into anybody at any time that doesn't...
What's Mashtown?
That's like, CB's got ER. Or
Oh,
got ICB,
okay. Yeah.
It's Mashtown.
I thought it was just like a place.
It basically is, yeah. But yeah, Mashtown is what they call themselves, really.
Okay.
But I guess it's because of where they come from, so yeah.
That,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's got nothing to do with me. It doesn't matter how much I want to change my life. There's things that you can't avoid. So I'm always gonna keep my head on the swivel. Like anywhere I go, it's like PTSD.
Wow.
Like it's every second of the day.
Really?
Yeah, I don't switch off. I can't.
Wow. What about when you're at home? Still you're switched on?
No, home's different because I'm in. It's your safe place. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. I mean, this is why I always said I couldn't go like road guys because I'm too shook. Anytime I've ever met a guy and he's a little bit in the activity, I'm just like, absolutely not, we can't. I might date them for like 6 months and then I'm just like, absolutely can't do this to myself anymore. Just because I just feel like that as well. Like I can't.
Yeah, don't.
Like I'm a little.
You can't switch off. I didn't even say even at home. My last place, the area that I lived. And the man who got in beef with them, I'm basically living in the wrong area and all that stuff. When I got shot, all that happened at my house, basically.
Wow.
You got shot?
I told you that, yeah. And yeah.
Oh. Wow.
So I was telling you, yeah, and his brother got killed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where they come from is dangerous, I'm sorry.
Oh. Wow.
Living room covered in blood and shit. So even then you're saying this is how I see a safe space. I mean, is it?
But even like how you just say, like just rolls off your tongue, like, yeah, even when I got shot. Like, do you do therapy? Have you ever done therapy?
No, I ain't done no therapy.
But don't you think you should? Like, that's a lot of trauma.
No, I don't want to unpack all that now. I'm a functioning. I'm functioning. I don't want to unpack all this stuff and then what pop me down and I don't need to do that. I'll do a bit later.
No, but it might be too late to deal with it later.
If I was going to go mad, I would have went mad long time.
No, but I'm not saying you're going to go
mad. I've been through these.
No, I know, but what I'm trying to say is you're clearly suppressing that. You're suppressing it at one point. If you don't unpack it now, something, it could be something small. It doesn't need to be another major thing that happened, and it could all come out. And that's what I think about, like a lot of you guys that come from your lifestyle and background and whatever. You meet you guys and it's lovely, but then you find it hard to love or you find it hard to trust. So it doesn't necessarily come out in some, I'm now having a nervous breakdown and I can't operate, but just in simple ways of life, relationships with women, whatever.
Affect all that stuff. Like there's certain opinions that I might hold or certain things that I might say about relationship or girls or whatever. And someone says, so someone really hurt you, innit? Like, who hurt you? And I'm thinking, there ain't no relationship that's hurt me. Like, what do you mean hurt me? My heart got broken a long time ago. The streets broke my heart kicked my heart out of my chest a long time ago. got nothing to do with no gal. You know what I'm trying to
Right,
say?
yeah.
But it affects your relationships though. It affects everything. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like be it that when your heart gets hardened and.
Do you think he should go therapy? Because you know more of his history. So
I feel like he does therapy all the time when he's on social media. He's constantly talking about his life. What more is he going to go and speak to at therapy? Somebody that's going to have more education about it, basically. And maybe like open him up to things that he didn't really understand or realise he was doing. I think therapy depends on if you feel like you need help. I think if you feel like you're okay, then you're just kind of slowing yourself down, maybe, unless there's actually a problem to be dealt with.
Which is what he's basically saying.
Yeah.
In a way.
Like, I mean, I think therapy is for people that haven't really had anything too like extreme happening over and over again, basically, and then now that problem is the main thing in your life. So you deal with it. But I think people that have gone through loads of madness, basically, and then got through the other side, then therapy is going to be so small of a thing compared to their problems. I don't know how much it can help. I've never done therapy though, so I can be talking from a perspective of somebody that hasn't got much information as well. But that's the way I look at it. Like, unless you've actually got a problem still lingering in your life, then what are you going to speak about? You like, go sort your life out.
Yeah.
If you still have the energy to,
Yeah.
Being cold and losing people and then not wanting to make connections with people because you just think, because everybody just goes. Everybody goes, isn't it? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That, so it doesn't even make sense doing that. And you're a bit standoffish. And then there's just stuff like in the streets that people go through that's not from that, and people look at it like trivial things and say it's not serious or it's a stupid, I'm immature, I'm this, I'm that. It's like I can't even share it with you because you're going to tell me all these things, but this is my real life. It's not by choice, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, there's danger and stuff out here that's real. These are things I have to deal with. You can't even appreciate it. Like, you can't even appreciate it. You don't understand where I'm coming from. And it's like the chicken or the egg kind of thing. It doesn't matter what happened or who started it or what's going on to get in that position. That's kind of irrelevant. The fact is, this is what I'm in.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That's more important. You don't want to get all these stupid answers. Oh, who started it? Who done this? Okay, cool, that's fine. But what about my reality, though?
Right.
This is what I live in.
What do you think about the current state of like young boys these days? I saw something. My brother sent me something the other day on something about Snapchat, and it was this breakdown of if you do this, if you do that, then you get these many points or something like that. And I was just like, who is to blame, but yeah, who is kind of to blame? Because then before you, there was elders, right? Do you get what I mean? And then they passed it down to you, and then you passed it. Well, not you necessarily, but then your generation then passed it down to another generation, another generation. Do you think there's like an obligation for elders to kind of like talk to these young boys now and try to like get some sort of like shape them and be like, it's not worth it?
Before he even answers that, what do you think? Because I just think that you can't tell anyone what they want to do, what to do. Ultimately, people are going to do what they want to do. So, because I feel like everyone's had that. Everyone's had someone older than them tell them that it's not worth it, but they don't really listen and they go and make the same mistakes anyway. So what difference does it really make for what she's saying, for him to go and pass it down to the younger generation?
I don't really think that's true. I think that's just people looking from the outside looking in. I think life just goes round in circles, and the people that were older had their time, and the people that are younger are going through their time, and the people that are younger than them are just inevitably going to go through their time of trying to... Because in life is for you to work things out. So for you to work things out, majority of the time you're going to have to do things wrong before you do things right. Yeah. Unless you're just going to listen to everything that somebody's told you, have no real understanding of yourself, no real personality, and like not know right from wrong really, just the person that does what they're told. Yeah. And if that's for you, then great, because those people are the wisest people. They learn from other people's mistakes, but you didn't live.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
The people that are actually the wisest are the ones that can tell you, like, I wouldn't do this because it's not right for me, not because somebody told me, I shouldn't do it, so I'm just listening and I don't know what's going to happen on the flip side. Yeah. Somebody that can tell you exactly, you shouldn't do this because this is going to happen, this is how you're going to feel, and you can do it this way and you can avoid all of this. That is actually a wise person, and the only way they can then become that person is through experience. Yeah, so
that's true.
I think we should stop trying to hand out the blame, and everyone should just mind their business and allow people to live their life, and stop trying to Like, you know, like how we have certain systems in place and certain infrastructures and people in certain jobs that feel like they have the power to punish you or to intervene or to control what you're doing, basically. I think it's all wrong. I think humans should be allowed to find their way through life until they seriously hurt themselves or somebody else.
Yeah.
Right, because at the end of the day, we're all born to just learn, and all of these people are getting in the way of your experience between you and God, basically, and life, which is what we all came here with. None of it is going to matter in 150 years, right? So clearly we're here for 100 years, and we should all get to do what we want to do with it, in my opinion, innit? I know, like, those people think that they're stopping dangerous things from happening, but you can't stop anything.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
A butterfly takes the wrong turn on one side of the world, and on the other side of the world, it becomes an earthquake, literally, like, yeah.
Cool. What happened to, like, what happened to Zeze Margs? Why did she stop making consistent content? Did something happen that I didn't know about?
I think the platform that she used to go on were taking advantage of her. She didn't have any real ownership, and now she's taking the time to build her own platform. And obviously, when you haven't got help and infrastructure and investment, things take longer. Plus, also, now you have money, you're not trying as hard as when you want to make a name for yourself. When you have a name for yourself, you're very distracted and oversaturated and over here one day, and it's very hard to come back to doing what you want to do for yourself.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because it's definitely changed.
And it looks like she's been working on herself.
Yeah.
So it's completely different than before. So that takes time and effort.
Yeah. That's true. Maybe she took the time out as well to understand her craft a bit more and what she really wanted to do with her platform.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not like an obligation. They should do it. I don't think it don't necessarily work. I've been in the streets. I've been that young person. No older person ain't gonna come and tell me anything, and I'm gonna have a light bulb moment and be like, oh, he's right. That should be like, it just don't work like that. You gotta go through it and make your own mistakes, and then come out on the other side, innit? And then when you come out on the other side, then you start to retain all the information that you thought you was ignoring, but you remember the things people tell you, and then you can start using it. So I think it's good for them to keep doing it. I don't know how helpful it's gonna be, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, for me personally, I hate being preachy and stuff like that, but I try to live by example, innit? Right. So because I've been on social media, been in the public eye for time.
I feel like as well, people always tell you what you shouldn't do, but nobody seems to be able to tell you what you should just go and do.
That's true.
And like, who has time for that?
Yeah, they tell you what to avoid, but they never tell you like the answer.
Yeah.
And I know they're not obliged to, but it's like, why are you telling me what not to do then if you haven't got the answer?
Right, and sometimes just because something doesn't work for one person doesn't mean it's not going to work for another.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's millions of people that we see in front of our eyes every single day that have every single thing that they want for doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Right, and there's loads of people that are doing the right thing, struggling. Actually, as well, like the things that make some people happy will not make another person happy.
Yeah,
that is one thing that people don't seem to understand. That like to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
Just because you think it's the right thing doesn't mean it's the right thing for somebody. You don't know where somebody's coming from as well. You might be ahead right now. It doesn't mean that in the end you're going to be ahead and they're going to be behind, because everybody starts at different places, and then you think you're in a race, but how can you be in a race and you all started in a different place on the track? And it's just about where you finish, innit? Yeah. And you don't know if you're doing a long distance race or a short distance race. Life is about variables.
Okay. So what advice would you have for the younger generation?
For them to enjoy their life, literally, and do what makes you happy, right? It doesn't have to be the wrong thing. It can be the right thing, can make you happy, innit? But just make sure whatever you're doing, you're not going to look back at what you did and regret it.
Cool.
Yeah, do things you can be proud of.
Nice.
What about you? What's your advice to young people? Don't talk shit about women on the internet. Go on.
I think, do what makes you happy. Don't rely on the people that you have around you to come and like fix things for you, or rely on them to be there for you later on in life when maybe you're going through a hard time. I don't know, does that sound kind of like personal?
It sounds a bit pessimistic. They don't know you, so they don't
Like
know
negative?
They don't know that's personal.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like you look at life like half. Well, to me, it sounded like you look at life half empty because you're wanting people. You're not when you're supposed to be giving advice.
Yeah, go and like live your life, but also don't like live your life for yourself. Then, not for the respect of others. Live your life for yourself. I don't know. Maybe that's not good advice. I'm not good at giving. I'm not good at giving advice.
Okay.
So, well, I think I ain't. I don't know.
I think good advice as well is not to give advice. Mind your business.
Yeah.
Not you, I mean, just everybody in general. I think when you give advice, it's like people will just look at the one time when you're wrong and be like,
yes.
So you chat shit.
And they throw it in your face.
Yeah, so
literally.
I think maybe you just don't give advice and like worry about yourself. Not worry about yourself and don't care about nobody else, but like put the energy that you're putting into giving advice into fixing your own life, maybe, yeah.
Cool.